what I think it is? I think that once you're inside the circle, you're in the circle, you know, and then you just be bouncing everywhere, no matter what your, you know, whatever your talent is, playing the guitar, singing, sucking dick, being a dope dealer, whatever your talent is, once you in, you in. Today's introduction will be a little different. You all know, for those who have been with me, helping me along this journey, but for those who don't know, I am trying to change the direction of my channel. I am trying to get away from celebrity gossip and move towards book reviews and recaps. So now, with all that being said, I am saying to you all, please tell your friends, tell your families, tell your coworkers. Now, let's get into Rick James' autobiography, Glow, Part 9. But it's the summer of '69, and RJ has arrived in LA, or back in LA, because remember when he was round there to the Detroit at the Motown, his mentor Norman Whitfield told him, brother, you ain't gonna get nothing but, you know, hard dick and bubblegum over here in the Detroit at the Motown. You need to take your ass over there to LA. And don't bother talking to Berry Gordy, because Berry Gordy don't fuck with nobody right about now. So he also brought with him another bass player by the name of Greg Reeves. He's white. Now just know this, guys, when I'm saying, you know, a person's sexuality or a person's color, this is what Rick is talking about, because color and sexuality means absolutely nothing to me. Human beings are human beings, but you know, I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there. I could give two fricks about what color they are and who they hunt. The idea was that him and Greg was to start a group, and they was going to call it Salt and Pepper. The idea of the group was for them to have a funky rock concept to them. I'm like, ooh. So despite his mentor, Norman Whitfield, telling him, yeah, leave that Berry Gordy's alone because he ain't messing with nobody right now. He went over there to talk to Berry Gordy and said, Berry Gordy, can I get a chance to be on your staff? Berry Gordy's answer is always no. So what Rickety James, because you know he's old slick, shiesty mother hunchy, got in contact with Berry Gordy's nemesis. What is this man's name? The nemesis name is Eddie. Stole Berry Gordy's ex-wife from him. Her name was Raymona or Raynoma, something like that. That's a crazy name. But anyway, since, you know, Berry Gordy is a whole ninja about the whole entire situation, Eddie said, don't worry about it. Come on with me. I'm going to work with you and you can stay up in my house. And on top of that, Berry Gordy's nemesis, Eddie, his brother used to book talent for the dating game. So here Rick James is. He in the zhuzh or in the circle of, you know, celebrities again. I mean, you know what I think it is? I think that once you're inside the circle, you're in the circle. You know, and then you just be bouncing everywhere, no matter what your, you know, whatever your talent is, playing the guitar, singing, sucking dick, being a dope dealer, whatever your talent is, once you in, you in. So anyway, Rickety James down there in LA, and he said he met him two foxy ladies. Not my words, his words. Foxy is his word, but you better believe I will be using it because that word foxy is fucking hilarious. So anyway, he done met him two foxy lady friends, okay? One is named Pam and one is named Nancy. Now, he called them his tripping buddies, and I guess tripping buddies mean, you know, they would drop acid or, you know, eat a potted donut or do whatever it is that they did, you know, together and hunch together. They was basically hunching buddies, but they was friends, right? Now, what had happened was Rick James tried to, you know, get all three together because they was friends, you know, but one of the girls was like, no, nigga, not me. But then you got that one named Pam. Pam was really into orgies and, you know, hunching and, you know, dropping acid and meeting new people, if you know what I'm saying, right? But that one named Nancy was like, it's bad enough that you fucking us, okay? And we friends, okay? But, you know, I guess once you drop the acid, you forget all about that. You know, this dude is hunching friends, okay? But Nancy was like, ninja, no. And ironically, Nancy ended up being one of Berry Gordy's baby mamas. He sure can pick 'em. In between all that hunching, Salt and Pepper was born. Okay, that's his group with him and his buddy Greg. Okay, they found a gay manager. Not my words, his words. I don't know why he always had to bring up the fact that the people be gay or white. That's not my words. Maybe because it's in the 60s and you know shit like that mattered. The manager lived over there in Berry Hills. The gay manager lived over there in Berry Hills. They had a lot of taste and a lot of money. So he was trying to, let's say, create and nurture the band Salt and Pepper. Now, they found their groove, but they didn't find an audience, and they did not find a record company to back them. Although he back in action, you know, we got action. Okay, he back in the zhuzh of everything in LA, you know, back hunching, back doing drugs, you know, and all that excitement. He fell in love with a young lady. Her name was Seville Morgan. He said they hunched on sight. The next day, they was moved in with each other. Ooh, that's love. Oh yeah, and while they hunching, his bandmate Greg, he was sleeping on the couch because he ain't had no girl, you know, or place to stay, child. Can you imagine? So at this point, while Greg is sleeping on the couch and he didn't fell in love with Seville, okay, the band is put on hold now, okay? There was some offers, you know, RCA came in. It was like, okay, I believe in you. Actually, RCA Canada came in and was like, oh, yeah, I believe in you. But nothing came of it, okay? So because Rickety James ain't have no musical income, what he was doing off of was surviving off of love and, you know, donations from his celebrity friends. They had a coffee shop, Duke's Coffee Shop on Sunset, okay? And when he looked up, who did he see? Jay Sebring. Now, y'all remember Jay Sebring, okay? Jay see the man, hey, Jay. Jay said, where you been? RJ say, oh, I've been back for a while. Jay say, I never knew what happened. RJ said, Perfect ain't tell you what happened? RJ say, you know I got locked up, right? Jay said, bad break, brother. RJ was like, yeah, you know, I got a cool apartment, cool chick. It's just I'm broke. Jay said, let me help you out. You know, rich people, they can, you know, pull off stacks. You know, here you go, here go a couple of stacks. And he said kindly to Rick James, hey, look, just when you make it big, make sure I get a front row seat. RJ said, I got you. So his old friend, Richard Furry, invited Rickety James down to a club, probably a coffee shop, okay, / you know, pharmaceutical company, okay? But he invited him down to see one of his friends play. His name was Paco, something like that. And backstage, he ran into Stephen Stills. They had a mutual friend named Peter Tork. You know, Peter Tork from the Monkees. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. There's something around. When I was watching that show, I used to love that show as a child. I'm like, why the fuck was our parents allowing us to watch shows where they were, you know, dropping acid dolls? Y'all remember HR Puff and stuff? And Sigma and the Sea Monster? Them motherfuckers was high the entire time. I know our parents knew that they did what? At the little get-together, Stephen says to RJ, hey, can you talk to Bruce? I mean, he is really fucked up. You know, he's not even playing good. He's missing it. He's missing gigs. He's just fucked up, brother, and I think it's drugs. So at the reunion between Bruce and Rickety James, what he said was that him and Bruce, the reunion was sweet, but Bruce was really, really fucked up. Now, they eventually end up in a jam session with, you know, the whole gang back together, right? And Rick James could hear that Bruce's licks were off, child. Licks mean, you know, mirror, 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 mirror. So the next morning, RJ was awakened by Stills and Graham. They woke him up and said, hey, brother, let's do lunch. Now, secretly, RJ was hoping that they was going to ask him to join their group. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. So at the lunch, the men say to Rickety, hey, look, that jam session last night was real nice. I like the way that Greg, you know, came in and did his thing. You know, and we would like to ask Greg if he would consider auditioning for us. And we want to know how you feel about it. Now, on the inside, Rickety is shocked and appalled because he's like, what? You want Greg and not me? But on the other hand, he understood. He knew that they already been playing around with the dude, what's his name? Bruce. Okay, Bruce been, he out of control. And to be quite honest with you, Rickety would probably bring that same energy. He wasn't ready. And remember, although Rick James has been through a lot in his life, he's still only 20 years old. So this ninja is out of control. And they probably didn't want that smoke. So Rick James kind of understood that, okay, Greg may be a better choice for them. I don't blame him. If he was my friend, I'd be like, brother, I like the music. The melody, it's really nice. But I'm not hiring you to be in my band. Now, later on, Rick James talks to his friend Greg. Now, Greg, being very loyal, he was against it. But Ricky convinced him because he's like, listen, dude, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. And on top of that, nigga, I need you to get up off my couch. Because you're really not contributing no money. Because what he was saying, feeding all three of them was a concern. Okay, so I'm saying to myself, this nigga, as a musician, don't even know how to, go downstairs and hold a fucking cup. Or at least, bear on the corner and put a cup in front of him. You can't contribute nothing. Rick, it was for the good. Get that motherfucker off your couch. Now, of course, Greg got the job, but Rick secretly felt left out. He felt abandoned, but when he talked about it to his girl said, I am so proud of you. And now here we are, we at the end of the summer of 69. Greg has moved out off the couch. He is now with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and they are working on a project together. Now, at this time, he feels like Jimi Hendrix and him are basically the same kind of guy. They started in R&B, and then they crossed over to white rock. He felt like if Jimi Hendrix, why do I keep saying Jiminy? Anyway, if he felt like Jimi Hendrix could do it, then so can he. Turning the page, RJ had met this light-skinned black dude that he lovingly called Mike the Mac. Okay, now, I understand why he ain't say this person's name, because people come out, find you and fuck you up. So I didn't understand why he ain't say the girl perfect name, but, he said every other bitch name except for, perfect name. But Mike the Mac, okay, was this dude. He was an old drug dealer from Chicago, okay? He said that this dude was a gangster who lived in a mansion on Holland. And he had a bevy of beautiful white women. Not my words, his words. Mike liked Rickety. Rickety liked Mike because basically Mike's whole attitude was fuck the world, fuck the rules, fuck the laws, all of that, Anything that doesn't have rules to it, Rick James loved it because Mike the Mac or Mac the Mike, whatever his name was, really liked Rick James singing and his musical talents. He ended up buying Rick James a guitar, a bass, and a electric keyboard, okay? Also, because I told you that ninja was an old drug dealer, right? He had full reign, of the pharmacy, okay? And because Mike the Mac or Mac the Mike was into counterfeit, Mike the Mac or Mac the Mike, whatever his name was, knew that Rickety James had some financial issues, so he would throw a couple of counterfeit stacks at his ass. One day, Mac the Mike or Mike the Mac said, listen, Rickety, this is the deal. I'm finna go out of town for 3 weeks, right? Now, you can do whatever it is you want to do, but I got some boogity sugary in there, and I got that old boy in there. Don't touch neither because it's already sold. You can do whatever it is you want to do in the house, throw parties, fuck bitches, whatever you want to do, okay? But don't touch them drugs. That goddamn Rickety James touched them drugs. He can't help himself, but anyway, hold tight. This is what happened. While Mac the Mike or Mike the Mac was gone, on his trip for 3 weeks, RJ went and tested the boogity sugary, okay? Now, he say he ain't dealing with that damn smack, as he called it, old boy, anymore. But what he did was he took a portion of it and sold it to his rock and roll friends. He said he was desperate for money at the time. The habitual line stepper, Charlie Murphy wasn't lying with this. You hear me? He was not lying when he called Rick James the habitual line stepper. That nigga don't know. He is always burning bridges. He is out of control. But anyway, when Mac the Mike got back, okay, he saw that Rickety James had touched some of his drugs. Now, Rick James was relieved because Mike the Mac ain't say nothing. He thought he was cool. Remember, I said thought. Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, and subscribe because it is so important to my success here on the YouTube.
Yeah.